What's wrong with Vegas, brother?
Bro, no, I heard you were in Vegas.
But while I was in Vegas, I actually understood a verse of the Quran finally, even more while I was there. Yes. So
what's that ayah?
If it takes us to go to Vegas to understand verses of Quran,
Enlighten me, brother.
then I'll go
I don't see ayats of the Quran in Vegas. I see.
Wallahi, I actually understood a verse. وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ مُوسَى إِنَّهُ كَانَ مُخْلَصًا وَكَانَ رَسُولًا نَبِيًّا. All right. Allah says and mentioned in the book the story of Musa. Verily he was mukhlas. Mukhlas means not mukhlis, mukhlas. بفتح اللام. It means protected and it means chosen. So why did Allah use this word talking about Musa alayhi salam? You know how we're always like, how can I protect my children in this country? Yeah. Like public school, Islamic school, homeschool, we're all about protecting the faith or children. Allah is saying, what environment could have been worse than Pharaoh's palace?
Subhanallah.
What environment could be worse than Sin City? But if Allah decides to protect you, Allah will protect you there as well.
Subhanallah.
Isn't that crazy?
I gotta come with you, bro.
You know how you become mukhlas though? You don't ask good questions. You just
I just want to come with you, bro.
To be with me, you have to have good questions. Okay. It's an honor to be with me, brother. Let's see what. إنه كان مخلص. Mukhlas. How do you become mukhlas? First, you have to be mukhlis. First you have to be mukhlis. You know what mukhlis means? People don't understand what mukhlis means nowadays. Mukhlis. I'll tell you what mukhlis doesn't mean. I come to Dallas. You're living in Dallas. I come to Dallas for a program, and while I'm there for maybe a seminar or something, I also have other plans. I also want to go to see a friend, and I also want to go see a car, and I also want to go and probably sit with someone, network for a business. So I have like 4 or 5 other things. I'm doing something good, but I'm not there exclusively just for that. Okay? I come to Dallas. One is I come just to meet you. I flew in, met you, and left.
Can't wait till that happens.
And then one is I come, and I do everything else, and I also meet you. Wouldn't it make you happier if I just came just to meet you, exclusive? That's what mukhlis means. Like sometimes we have to do things just for Allah. Like we don't have to go to a program in Toronto because we're gonna go to a restaurant and we're gonna do this. We're gonna put a whole agenda together. Why not just go and sit with the sheikh, learn, and then come right back? That's what mukhlas. To become mukhlas, you got to start doing things exclusively for Allah. Mukhlas.
Wow.
Number 2, you have to continue doing good deeds. Keep adding on, because the more good you do, the more tawfiq you get. And number 3, this one people miss a lot. Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik is a dua that Mu'adh bin Jabal was taught by the Prophet after ibadah. We should be grateful for the ibadah that we're doing. You know how we say be grateful for the ni'mas, food, this, that, but appreciate the fact that you're sitting in a gathering of dhikr. Be grateful. When you come out of Jum'ah, next time you come out of Jum'ah, you should pray 2 rakat shukr. Say Alhamdulillah, be grateful. The fact that you did something good is a tawfiq from Allah. And what happens when you're grateful? وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. You appreciate, Allah allows you to do more. So that's also true for ibadah. So yes, I was in Vegas, I remember this verse, and I understood this verse, and I said it a few times now. It's a beautiful thing. What's going on?
I'm mukhlis to you, man. I come to Miftaah for you, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Not our brothers? Sheikh Abdullah?
We're not on camera, bro. Come for you, bro.
No, what's going on, man? Yeah, I was there. I was there, but yeah, of course you know I was there.
Forget Vegas for a second. I heard people like Khabib, and I hear rumors that you were skiing with him.
Hey man, he knows me.
You're not gonna take me, bro?
He knows me.
Oh, he knows you.
Yeah, he knows me. He's my student.
What'd you do? What'd you learn in that trip, man?
Honestly,
is that true? Is it even true that you went on Frontier? You were sitting right next to him. You had your turban on.
I was on Delta.
Oh, you were on Delta.
I had him go on Frontier. I messed him up. That's a good question. To be honest with you, like whenever you should always have your learning cap on. I'll say this first. Like you should always have your learning cap on so you can learn from anybody. النصيحة ولا على الجدار.
Wow.
And if you have your learning cap on at all times, we have to replace 2 things. We have to replace always wanting to speak with always wanting to just listen. We have to replace always wanting to teach to always wanting to learn. You get better in life with that. Then you can learn from anyone. Like there's gonna be an opportunity to learn from. And then you're gonna be in the right place at the right time. Actually, so yes, I was with Khabib. I met him in Las Vegas. I was in Jamaat over there. Then we ate dinner together. And then I would end up being in the right place at the right time.
Wow.
And so I met him while I was already in Arizona, our flight was back, and then he told me they're going skiing, so I went. So subhanAllah, like, we went skiing, but that's really what I learned from these brothers. Like we see that, Khabib walking out with Islam, walking out with Umar, walking out with Usman. We see you have their training camp. We see this man like saying, "I'll smash Dustin, Tony, everyone in one night, anywhere." Like these guys, that's one element of theirs. And alhamdulillah, I had the opportunity to spend time with them behind the scenes. And quite frankly, man, I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot from their habits, their personality, because remember, we can portray an image publicly, but privately is different. And I'm with them privately now, right? And so, yeah, I learned a lot from them, man.
It's like I learned from you privately so much, man. I learned privately more from you than on the stage.
No, man. No. Alhamdulillah, we.
But what's that one thing that stood out when you were with him? Like if you could say, like, yeah, this guy outside UFC, he's all there, but if you're with him, you're in his inner circle. What's that one thing that you're like, man, most people don't have this quality?
I won't say one thing. I think there were 4 things. There were 4 specific things that I kept observing that I was fascinated by. That some of the things I want to implement in my life. Some of them, alhamdulillah, we already are implementing them, but it's something that. So the first thing is, for them, it all starts with Salah. Like the fact that everything starts with Salah. I asked Khabib a question. I was sitting with him in the car. I'm going to Vegas from Park City. I say to him, can I ask you something? He said, yeah, go ahead. I said, so many people meet you. I mean, imagine people want to meet him and ask him for things, right? Just random people, randos, this, that, pictures. How do you determine who to keep close to you, who to talk to, who to, move on with? You know what he said to me? Blank stare in my eye. He says, just look at his salah. That's it. We're not the judge of people's hearts. See, if the person, he looked at me and said, I'm a scholar. I was shocked by his answer. He said, if the person cannot pray salah on time, and you know what he said? Cannot just praying, cannot come early, cannot stay later, and he's rushing through salah, then what do you think he's going to do with your life? He's going to do everything for you recklessly. So then I told him, I said, what you just said is actually the statement of Umar al-Khattab anhu. He said, إِذَا رَأَيْتُمُ الرَّجُلَ يَضِيعُ الصَّلَاةِ. He said, if you see someone wasting their salah, then remember this person will also waste everything else. أَشَدُّ تَضْيِيعًا. He said, Umar al-Khattab said, other things he will waste even more. Okay, so I seen them like they were coming from Vegas. They arrive in Park City. I'm waiting there. First thing they have to have is a place in their home. So we're here. Right now we're in Airbnb right now, right? Hum dono Maulana baithe hue hain. We're both scholars. Did we determine where the Qibla is? Did we already have a place in the house where the sheets are already down?
Yeah.
The Imam spot is already done. We did that already?
I did.
Okay, no. See, that's the difference.
You got to come in my inner circle.
No. Sheikh, wallahi, I'm telling you something. Wallahi, that's the difference. The difference is not I, it's we. Okay? Like, we're sitting at the table here. The first thing they look, when he walked into the house, the first thing, before he came in, I told him it's already done. Look for a place in the house. I said, why aren't you going to stay in a hotel? He said, because in Airbnb, we can pray together.
Subhanallah.
You know how he said, we can be together? Yeah. He said, Airbnb, we can pray together. Habibi, what? We're in an Airbnb, we can eat together, we can chill together. Muhammad, he's got to play pool together. Yeah. Habibi, pray together.
That's beautiful.
So when I saw that, they put their, right when they sit down, they have their salah. And check this out. They have timing. So we came right now. When you travel, I learned this from them now. They're in vacation. All right. Timing. They decided Fajr is 7:10. Wow. 7:10 a.m., okay? They said, what time does Fajr come in? What time go? Okay, 7:10 is Fajr. I'm like, okay, first day in the morning, Saturday morning. I get up, I'm sitting there. No crazy alarm. You know how we have crazy alarm? Like there's one of the guys who picked me up today. He had this crazy message ringtone, and it almost blew my eardrums out. But it's okay. It's fine. I forgive him, right? So he had no crazy. Everyone's in different rooms. Before 7:10, everyone slowly just walks in, right? In the area, you pray salah, calm, and these people are so fresh early morning.
Wow.
Okay, so the first thing I seen was just the fact that Salah is everything for them. They love praying together. They love that. And so that was the first thing I seen. You know, that like subhanAllah, like we go on vacations, we put our guard down. You know, we have to schedule things around Salah. We have to. The Salafus Salihin, they would not study from someone until they would see their Salah. Once they saw their Salah, then they said, okay, this person is worthy of studying from this person. Like, how is he praying Salah? So even as families, when we travel, that's one thing I learned. I mean, when I come back, I could just make sure when we travel together, decide the timing, decide a place in the Airbnb. If we were staying in a hotel, decide a place, that. Second thing I was so fascinating was the respect for elders. Habibi, man, when I walked in the Airbnb, so you know, walked in today, right? I walked into the Airbnb today and I looked at all the rooms. So sometimes in the Airbnb, there's rooms that have a bed, they're not supposed to have a bed. You know what I'm saying? They throw beds everywhere, right? And of course, the one we stayed at was like on the mountaintop. There was a massive master bedroom, massive, and it was on a story on its own. Like on that floor, all there was a master bedroom, and like a balcony and this and that. So naturally, I prepared. I got there early, so I put stuff in the room, and I was like, "This is Habib's room." Downstairs there's rooms, and then basement there's rooms. So it's 3 stories, like not basement, but the main floor. So when they come, it is not even something they think of. Like it's not. It's like everyone knows. You know how many times you have this problem? Which room I'm staying in?
Yeah.
No, it's not even a thought. The elder gets the best room, then the younger, then the younger, then the younger. Like this. It goes by age.
Wow.
Okay. So Habib's elder is Muslim. His name is Muslim. He's older than him by a few years.
Wow.
Who stayed in the master bedroom? Muslim.
SubhanAllah.
Not even question like Islam. Oh, no. He's older. That's it. He sleeps upstairs. Habib slept downstairs, 2nd story. That's where and then there was a person that was in the room next to him that was younger than me. He moved him and said, "You go downstairs, the sheikhs and sleep here." Because I was older than him in knowledge and of course according to him and age. So now I'm there. Then the youngers are downstairs. Man, I tell you something. I was sitting with him. This is fascinating. The amount of this is sunnah, man.
Yeah.
You know, we really overlook this quality as a community, man. The Prophet saw somebody walking in. He saw somebody walking in from outside the masjid, and everyone's sitting. Everyone's sitting, and they never got up for him. He's an older person. Right. I was sitting with him in a restaurant. This is the week before. So there was this one youngster with me. I took him with me from Phoenix. He's probably 18, 19 years old. You know, young people, they're not the brightest. They're good energy though. So good kid, love him. I love his uncle. I love his dad. Both of his uncles. I haven't seen his dad before, but both of his uncles, dad's brothers, amazing people from Phoenix. They have a very successful business. So on the way to Las Vegas, I was just asking him what he's gonna do. His parents' business is very successful. Mashallah. Like, I'm talking not Maimans. I'm talking about like $100 million business, okay? Like that level. And they like, you know how hard it is to build a business like that? And so now this son, the nephew is just, he's going to undergrad. He wants to start his own business. And I'm like, okay, let me see what he's coming from. He's like, yeah, I'm going to start a shirt printing business. I was like, so I don't know what to say. I didn't say anything to him though. Like I can't believe he said that. Like if we were in the shoes, like you just join your dad's business and just grow it, Guy's talking about shirt printing business. What the koi bhi kar sakta hai. Anyone can do that. So I didn't say anything to him. But I understand where he's coming from because usually, you're young, you work in your parents' business, your dad, uncle will get mad at you, they'll tell you off, they'll judge you, and then you feel uncomfortable. And sometimes you want to grow on your own, like I can do this as well, I don't want my daddy's money like that. So we got to the restaurant. I made him sit next to Habib. We were just talking. I said, Habib, this guy, his uncle and dad have a business and this and that, and he wants to do his own business. And then, what do you think? What do you think? I wanted to ask his thoughts. And he said, brother, let him go, make mistakes, and come back, because he's going to come back anyways. And I was like, okay, fine. So whatever, he's pretty much saying some people you can't help them, let them learn and come back. Yeah. So then I said to him, the issue though is that he would love to be in his uncle's business, but when you're in your family business, there's a little fear of like my uncle, my dad telling me off, my older brother, because there's a little bit more, there's more informality. You can't do the same with other people. Yeah. You know what Khabib said? Khabib said something very interesting. He said, if you get offended or hurt by someone who has proven he loves you, I mean, that person loves you. That's proven. And then you get offended by what they say, that means you have an ego. Because they're not, you know for a fact they don't want any harm for you. So now it's established that your mom loves you, your dad loves you, your teacher loves you. So then why would you get offended if they tell you off? It's okay. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
The love is already there. It's like, you know, like, لا يفرق مؤمن مؤمنة. Like, it's like the idea of the Prophet, like, don't break relationships because of the guy overstepping one time. Like, this love is established for you. I don't want to go off topic, but I mean, that's what happens when I'm with this guy. My mind goes everywhere. Like, what? What did he just say? That's interesting. Like, that's what, right away I said that. Like, Abu Bakr and Umar, they're best friends.
Yep.
You think they never got into arguments? They did. You think it never got sometimes, like sometimes it got really bad? Absolutely, it comes in hadith. Abu Bakr anhu and Umar got an argument. Abu Bakr anhu, in the story, he feels that he overstepped. So he went to apologize to Umar al-Khattab anhu. He goes to his house, knocks on his door. Umar al-Khattab opens the door, anhu, and he says, I'm sorry. Umar al-Khattab slams the door on him. After him apologizing.
Subhanallah.
Abu Bakr anhu goes to the Prophet ﷺ, not because he's complaining about him, but he wants him to mediate so they can become friends again, brothers again. Because what good is life? What good is life with division? There's no taste in life without being together. Wallahi, there isn't. No. Like, you go to the best restaurant with the best food, after you get into an argument with your wife, it tastes bad.
It does. Yeah.
It doesn't taste the same. Wallahi, it doesn't taste the same. You know, you go to Medina Munawwara, a blessed city, after an argument you had a husband and wife, the city you don't enjoy the same. You know? So now Abu Bakr goes to the Prophet. Umar realizes, oh man, I feel bad now. So he goes to Abu Bakr's house, he's not there. It's like, oh man, I'm sure if he's at home, where is he? With the Prophet. So he goes to the masjid. He gets to the masjid. Abu Bakr is sitting in front of the Prophet like this, right? The Prophet's like this. Abu Bakr doesn't see Umar coming behind him, but he sees the Prophet's face turning red.
Allah.
Check this out. فَتَمَعَّرَ وَجْهُ رَسُولِ وَتَغَيَّرَ لَوْنُهُ. The Prophet's face turned red. He got so angry. And Abu Bakr is so close to the Prophet, he knows when he's angry. Abu Bakr got on his knees like this. Ya Rasulullah, it was my fault. It was my fault. It was not his fault. Don't say anything to him. Like this. Yar, you know what people miss in the story? Of course, the story is the Prophet then told Umar, leave me and my friend alone. He trusted me when no one else trusted me. Don't bother him. Like he said about Abu Bakr. But you know what people don't mention about this story? Is what Umar bin Khattab must have felt when Abu Bakr stood for him. Like what his heart must have felt. That my buddy is taking my back. He has my back. How much love do you think that developed for him? You see what I'm saying? You know when you're do something wrong and someone's like, I did it. You're like, yo, that guy's a real one. Right? That guy's a real one. That moment where you know it was your fault, but the guy still stood up for you, that develops more love. How much do we do that in our life? Why are you getting offended if someone who loves you did something overstepped? No one is perfect. No. I went on a tangent. But basically, that's what he said. That means you have an ego. That, oh, your ego's so big that no one can touch it, you know? like that. The third thing I said to, this is the funniest thing. I said, how about if the elder, the father and uncle, what they're saying is wrong? Like they made a mistake. It happens, right? They made a mistake. You know what Khabib said? Brother, you already made a mistake. You came after them in this world. SubhanAllah. Even though it wasn't you, but your mistake is that you already came after. Don't say nothing to them. That's it, they're elders. So that respect for elders is what I saw in his life. Like, Habibi, you won't believe it when I say this to you. Wallahi, I wish I recorded it. We drove from Park City to Vegas. 6 hours. We never ate dinner. Habib kept telling me, when we get there, we're going to eat dinner. I said, we're going to order dinner. You know, like this. We get to the house, the kitchen like this. You know who's cooking for us? Islam, Makachev.
Wow.
He's cooking food for us. Him and Tahir, they're about to fight the next week.
Oh, wow.
There, Habibi, wallahi, I wanted to cry. I couldn't believe it, man.
Was the food that good?
It wasn't, it doesn't even matter. They made spaghetti meatball and soup, just
Oh,
normal
wow.
food. He's cooking, he's doing this in the kitchen.
Wow.
He picks up, pulls a chair out, makes me sit, makes all the elders sit. Why? Because they're all older than him. You know what I'm saying? So that respect factor. And you know what the craziest thing is? Islam couldn't eat that food because he's on weight cut. So he's cooking the food, serving the food, but he can't eat the food.
Wow.
I found this to be so fascinating. The respect for elders in the group.
Subhanallah.
This guy's older. The Prophet said, Kabbir, Kabbir. When three people came, start talking to the Prophet. I'm not going to tell all the stories, but three people come and one person starts talking. The Prophet says, relax. Let the older person speak. Stay quiet. Like this. The Prophet uses miswak, and people would take it. And one person took it. The Prophet said, give it to him first. Al barakatu ma'akabirikum. The barakah is with the elders. That's it. Ibrahim bin Sa'd, he came to Iraq, Baghdad. He came there. He did hijrah to teach there. When he came there, he saw the youngsters walking in front of the elders. He saw the younger students sitting in front row and the elders sitting in the back row. He says, you guys have no adab for your elders. I will never teach you any hadith. And he never taught them.
Subhanallah.
So this is how you honor your elders? Habib, man lam yuqir kabir, laysa minna man lam yahsagirna wa lam yuqir kabirana. You're not from my ummah if you don't take care of your young and don't honor your elders. And that's why the second I took that from him, and I want to make sure this message is conveyed to people because they get there through that. Habib said, I was always the younger one, now I'm the older one. You get what I'm saying? So that's how it works.
Subhanallah.
هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان? Right? ثم كان عاقبة الذين أساءوا السوء. So you respect people. You're gonna but suntiro, listen. A time will come where you will speak, people will listen. Just respect, and follow. A time will come where Allah will put you in a position where people can do that to you too. But ثم كان عاقبة الذين أساءوا السوء. But the opposite is true too. Those who do wrong, a time will come they will be wronged as well. When they get older, no one's going to respect them and honor them. So it's in your best interest. It's in your best interest that you respect. The Prophet said that there are three people that only a munafiq disrespects. Habibi, only. ثلاث لا يستخف بهم إلا منافق. Only three people, these people, only a munafiq can disrespect or belittle. So number one, an elderly person. Someone who has white hair. Number two, a hafiz, a hamil al-Quran, or a person of deen, of alim or hafiz. And number three, imam muqsitan, a leader who is just. How do you how about your dad and your mom, man? Yeah. How can you disrespect them? If this is for the general elders, how can you disrespect your uncles and aunts in your homes? Second thing, I said 4? I just made that number up actually. The third thing I will say is, just quickly, bro, their decision making. For me that's a big deal, because we go on trips, we actually start talking about where we're gonna drink coffee for half an hour.
Yeah.
Where are we gonna eat food? Huh? Where do you think? I think this place. It's like, Habibi, there's an Amir, he decides. Don't go back and forth. The elder decides. Everyone's okay with it. I loved and enjoyed that experience. Wow. Because, it's like, it really is better for everyone. The Prophet said, if you travel and you're two people, make one the Amir who decides. It's not always like, let's go back and forth, let's discuss this. So we're driving to Chicago for 2 hours discussing what restaurants. Man, just decide. Of course, the person who's deciding will make bad decisions, but it's possible because he's a human being. But more often than not, it'll be better for you. You'll save so much time. We go travel, right? We're with our friends. We're gonna go jet skiing first, or we're gonna get a boat, we're gonna go this, and we're talking for 2 hours, and then always like bad blood, because like someone said this, and then it went the other way, I told you so, like that, all that stuff, right? Yep. No, man, no. Habib decides. We're gonna go there at this time, then 1:15 this is gonna happen over here, then 2 o'clock this, boom, that's it. Decisions are made. You know why I think they're good at decisions? Because they have to make decisions in the octagon.
Wow.
They have to make split-second decisions in the octagon. Split second, boom, boom. So their minds are so in tuned on making decisions. And indecisiveness is actually a disease. We can't make up our mind. Like, this guy's changing his major 10 times. You know, I'm not sure about if I should marry this person. So the fact, when you're with, I enjoyed the liberty, the freedom of the fact that there's an Amir, he's an elder, let him make decision, move on. So that's the third thing. I love that. Like, I think the process of making decision has to be better within our communities, in schools, in boards. You know, in the boards, like, there's no one really that they consider. You know why that happens? Is because you don't trust someone else, or you think that you're better than someone else. Like, you gotta trust somebody that they'll make the right decision. Etiquettes, decide, and move on. And the fourth thing, which is which I found very fascinating. I mean, how much time do we have left? We're done, right?
Yeah, way past that.
Way past. Let's finish then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say another one though. Should I say it quickly?
Is it like a vlog? What is it?
Oh yeah, I have to say this one.
This is like a podcast, basically.
Yeah, it is.
Video.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, then it's fine.
It's fine. Let me say one more.
Yeah.
The fourth thing, which is I think one of the most important things, is how they take energy from each other. You know, the fact is, many times, imams, scholars, we work together, but we're never together.
Yep.
You know, in America, you're trying this, like, we need like retreats and this thing and that thing. But these people have it part of their life. Every training camp, on the weekends or in the evenings, they're just together. And because, you know, as a coach or as a scholar, you're always giving, right? You need some time to be with people that are also giving so you can receive from each other.
Yeah.
You know, like it's nice to sometimes sit in a khutbah and hear some other scholars speak. Or travel, like, that's why I love the Miftaah programs, because you sit with scholars, you get to receive from each other. You work you're doing separately, but then you get together on the weekend, you get from each other. So they're very, and then I said, you know what, first time I thought about it, I said, did the Prophet do that? And then if you look in hadith, you realize that actually there is precedence for this. Because Ali bin Abi Talib anhu, when he walks in, when Umar Khattab passed away, he says, I cannot count how many times I heard the Prophet say, خرجت أنا أبو بكر وعمر ذهبت أنا أبو بكر وعمر Abu Bakr, Umar and I, Abu Bakr, Umar and I did this, Abu Bakr, Umar and I did this. Meaning that there was a larger community, but there was still exclusivity within them. You get what I'm saying? He's standing on Uhud, and he's telling Uhud, who's standing with him in Uhud? Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman. He's telling Uhud, don't shake, right? So you take from that, like, we have a madrasa, a boarding school, Miftaah. A lot of times, you're just so busy working, you're just giving energy, that you actually don't get energy from each other. And that's very essential. Should I tell you that's what's important about that? Then the weekends don't become draining. They become energizing. Monday mornings are usually the worst days of the week. But for them, because they got energy from Friday night till Sunday night from each other, that it energizes them. Monday morning, they're in the gym, fully ready to go. For us, our weekends and vacations, it's supposed to be a vacation, it's supposed to be a break, but our break becomes, so demoralizing in a way. Like it takes, draining of our energy, that's the right word. It drains energy away that when we come back, it's like, work. But them, it's the exact opposite. You know why? Because it doesn't matter where they're going for vacation. They're not going for vacation. They just find time to be together with people who give them positive energy. So there's no ghibah, there's no backbiting, there's no talk about negative things. It's just each other. And then they get it from each other, and then back on Monday, giving back to each other. So I find that to be like, I found that when I came back to madrasa, right away, I talked to some of our students, we sat together. First time I sat with them after a long time, and you know what they said? They said, Mufti, this gave me so much energy. Like you sitting with us, talking to us, it really motivated us to keep going. Like I was getting drained. I appreciate you doing that. So that element I learned from this.
Let me ask you this, just one last question.
Go ahead, yeah,
I know
of
you're
course.
busy.
I'm not busy.
You're a busy guy, you know.
These guys are busy.
Next, Khabib will call you, just leave my gathering.
Yeah, I'll call him right now.
So these 4 qualities that you talked about, I mean, clearly you don't learn this in school. It's just like a wisdom that comes from divine intervention from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where do you think that someone like him, that's, a public figure, but has such, humble qualities, how does someone really get that? Like, what did he do to obtain these type of qualities? Did he learn it from his father, school? I mean, what do you think? You know him very, very.
That's a good question. I mean, for sure, without a doubt, he learned it from his father because he quotes his father so much. He quotes him so often. You don't realize how much this man misses his father unless you're with him. He quotes him so often, father, like this. Like we'll be talking about a story, he'll mention his father's story. You see what I'm saying? Like, so of course he had a great father, man. So, we owe that to our children to be good fathers. We owe it to them.
That's beautiful.
Because, if they see us not acting that way, like if they see us that way, then they're gonna see it from us and they're not gonna get better. Like if they see us when we get mad, we're swearing, or when we get mad, we're loud, we're shouting. What do you think they're gonna do? But if they see that we're mad and dad is different, he's mad, but he's not. So that's what they're gonna learn as well. So I definitely think his father has a huge impact on his life. Rahmatullah alayh. May Allah give him Jannah al-Firdaus. And of course, and the other thing is the love for each other. They're so bonded together. It's like it's like a knot. لا تنقض the word Allah uses in tanqud, right? Why? Because the naqd al-ahd, right? It's because it's a knot. So when you knot something together, it attaches it, right? And so these people are so together that their good qualities are always like circulating between them, right? So they're not like us, like we're together, but we're not together. So maybe we learn each other's bad qualities, actually. So the good qualities, so I think number one is their father, and number two, the good qualities that the community shares, they're so tied together that they learn it from that. And of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing them with these beautiful qualities. And I think he's always learning, always online. If he's in his free time, most of the time in his free time, we're surfing Instagram and stuff, most of the time in their free time, they're watching videos. On Russian, not TikTok. They're watching like videos in messages, and he'll share it like dini messages. Always, like anytime they're free, like most of the time I saw them, they're just doing that. They're watching because they're always learning. They don't have teachers, right? They're always learning, and then when they meet someone like me, they'll start asking questions. So like that's the third thing I think. He's just always learning, and as you keep learning, you keep growing.
SubhanAllah.
Did
he smash your face?
No, he did wrestle me.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, he didn't wrestle me. He took me down and he told me to get up.
He's like, I can't do a submission on you.
Wallahi, they're so physically strong.
You felt the strength.
Habibi, even their nails have muscles. Even their nails have muscles. Like, even their hair has muscles. They're just so solid. I'm not so. I trust me. If he's on top of you, I don't care who it is. You're not getting up. You're not getting up. Absolutely not. That's what they're just built different, man. He put me down. I'm like, please, I was gonna die. And then he let me get up, So then I told him, he always always trying to compete with me. He says, see, I took you down in that one, Sirah question, this and that, That's what he says. See, I got you that one. I knew that one. So I told him, I said, you see how you let me get back up? I do that with you sometimes too. He said 1-0, baby, 1-0, brother.
1-0.
Like he always took about rounds, 1-0, brother. So yeah, it was nice sitting with you. We'll chill. We'll keep talking. We're here in Raleigh. We'll just go to the program. We'll keep talking later, inshallah.